In this video, I'm gonna be reviewing the new RPM 16mm Friction Pro. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock, you haven't heard about this paddle. The RPM is probably the craze in pickleball right now. In my opinion, I think it's the best paddle on the market out of everything that I've tried. And the reason being is really just the feel on the ball specifically. The dwell time is incredible and it really gives you an opportunity to feel the ball as you hit it, shape it in any way that you like. The surface is super gritty. I mean, it feels like sandpaper. I would say grittier than most paddles that it's being compared to, which I'll show you in a second. The other thing that I really like is the power and the pop off this paddle is incredible, but it doesn't sacrifice control. So even though there is a lot of power and pop coming off of this paddle, I feel very comfortable at the kitchen with dinks. I feel incredibly comfortable in transition with resets. But because of the power, I know that I can put the ball away with confidence. I think the paddle that it's most compared to is the Joola Perseus 4. This paddle I used for quite some time before transitioning to the Agassi, before transitioning to the RPM. I do think that they are similar in terms of, I would say, power, pop, but where the RPM really stands out is the control for me. I had a hard time keeping my dinks down with the Joola 4, which is why I switched to the Agassi eventually. And I mean, there's just no grit on this paddle whatsoever. It's completely smooth. I think you can still generate some spin, but it's almost effortless with the RPM and how much grit it actually has on the surface compared to the Joola. I think it exceeds the Joola in the fact that it has a little bit more control and I can feel the ball a lot more, which allows me to shape the ball a little bit better. After the Joola, I transitioned to the Agassi, which I really liked and enjoyed playing with, specifically because it had a little bit more control for me than the Perseus 4, and it still gave me the same power and the same pop. I felt like I was able to shape the ball a little bit more. It gave me a little bit more spin. Even though the surface is pretty flat, considering, I think I felt a little bit more comfortable with this one than the Perseus 4. But again, what I like more about the RPM than the Agassi is definitely the face is a lot grittier, so I'm able to shape the ball better. And also the control and the ability to reset with the RPM is just on another level than any other paddle that I've tried. Most of you probably remember this guy. Some of you scammers are probably still playing with it even though it's illegal. But if I were to compare the RPM to anything, I feel like it would be closest to the mod in terms of power, pop, and dwell time are pretty similar. I do think there's a little bit better responsiveness on the RPM when it comes to dwell time. I do feel the ball a little bit better. But I think the RPM really is a mod with control. That's what it feels like. It has so much power, so much pop. You can hit the ball extremely hard, but you don't have to sacrifice control. So with all that considered, I genuinely believe that the RPM right now, the 16mm, is the best paddle on the market, at least from the ones that I've tried. If you're looking to get yours, make sure you use code KAT15 at checkout for 15% off.